Yay! Welcome to Advanced Toastmasters online. There we go. Here are some online meeting tips. Use your headset or earbuds if you're finding some background noise. You can mute your microphone when you're not speaking, please. That's in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. And you can also toggle on and off your video if you're eating something or if you remove yourself from your seat, but we would like to see you, so keep it on. To adjust your view between gallery view and speaker view, what you're seeing here on the screen is the gallery view, and to adjust to speaker view, just click up there on the top where it says speaker view. If you have questions or notes for speakers, you can do that within the chat function right there on that little chat bubble. Please do that in between the speeches and in between sections of our meeting, so that way we're not interrupting. There's a box that pops up in the middle when you chat with someone. This meeting will be recorded. By participating in our meeting, you agree that a recording will be available publicly on our YouTube channel and on our website. And if you are interested in becoming a member, just go to the ato.toastmost.org website, and where it says become a member on the member bar, you click there and you'll see all the information about our club and the requirements. And at this time, I'd like to put the gavel down and say, welcome to Advanced Toastmasters Online. And I'd like to hand the meeting over to Tricia Grow, and she can read our personal club mission, and then she can start the meeting.
Thank you, Dawn. We are an advanced Toastmasters club which supports Maverick leaders to have more impact by providing advanced feedback on leadership skills and discovering what it means to be an out-of-the-box, innovative leader. Our theme for today is being thankful. Just recently, I am a breast cancer survivor, and I just had my 5th year checkup and came out clear. So I am very thankful that I am still, they don't call it remission anymore, is no evidence of disease. NID, for those who are ever here. NID, it's a good thing. Welcome to our meeting, and I will be introducing you to some of our official helpers for this meeting, as I cannot run it by myself. The first person I would like to call on is our grammarian of the day, was Erin. Erin, would you please give a brief explanation of your duties?
Thank you very much. So my role is being a grammarian and an art counter, right? So I will divide the roles into two. The first role is art counter. So basically in any speeches itself, we are focusing very greatly on the smoothness of your speech. So that is just like lullaby. We listen to the music and we enjoy the sensation of it. And some disruption may occur to affect the emotions of upheavals. So my role is to keep track of any unnecessary connectives that may be redundant in the sentence and make a report at the end of the meeting. As for the grammarian role is to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is, let me find where my Google is. In case you're recording my messenger, I'm finding the word. Sorry, just give me a moment. Yep. The word of the day is gratify. So gratify is a verb, so it means to, I wouldn't mean the first meaning, I will mean the second one, which is to satisfy, indulge, humor one's desires or appetites, or to reward someone. So basically, I can simply say that today I'm meeting lots of gratifying audience who are going to be very enjoyable, who's going to give me a very enjoyable meeting today. So that can be one of the uses of gratifying. And the second, or rather saying my second role is to, I forgot my role. The second role is to make sure that I will keep track of the good phrases of words and also any words that may be improperly used, and I will correct it at the end of the meeting. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Erin. Next is our timer, who today is Doug. Doug, would you please give a brief explanation and show the timing lights that you'll be using for today's meeting?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Yes, today I am the timer. And so I will be showing our timing lights for a 5 to 7 minute speech. I would show the green light at 5 minutes, which says you've spoken a good amount of time, you could stop. At 6 minutes, I would show the yellow light, which says you're nearing the end of your time and you should be stopping. And if you hit 7 minutes, then I will gratify you by showing the red light, which says you should have stopped. For table topics, it would be 1 to 2 minutes. So green at 1, yellow 1.5, red at 2. If you're speaking, then please make sure that my thumbnail is visible so that you can see the lights, although I will also send a message on chat with the colors as needed. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Doug. On to our first portion of our meeting. Today is Prepared Speakers. Our first speaker is Andrea Singer. She'll be sharing a speech from the Storytelling Advanced Manual, the folk tale. And her timing is 7 to 9 minutes. Andrea's Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze, and working out of Advanced Communicator book, Storytelling. The objective of this speech is to tell a folk tale that is entertaining and enjoyable for a specific age group, and use vivid imagery and voice to enhance it. After much inner debate, she has chosen a children's story that still makes her smile. Her father used to use this story to calm her fears during windstorms. Even though you are an adult, try to imagine a cold, windy night and the big tree scraping against the window as if it's trying to get into the house. The title of her speech is Which One Are You? Please help me welcome Andrea.
Point of order. A point of order before we start, Andrea.
Yes.
Do we have an evaluator for her speech?
Oh, Mark didn't make it.
How about round table?
Well, we always do round table, but I can do it, Andrea.
Dawn said she's doing it. Dawn.
No, Dawn's doing the next one.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Or you can just do all the evaluation. That's okay. I will be evaluating Andrea.
Okay. Can you, the evaluation should be online so you can pull it up. Okay. I'm ready to start now, so.
Shall I reintroduce you?
No, just welcome Andrea. Here she is. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who went out into the big world to make homes and get their fortune. The first little pig didn't like to work at all. She quickly built a house of straw. Then off she danced down the road to see how her sisters were doing. And as she danced, she sang, I built my house of straw, I built my house of hay, I toot my flute, I root and hoot all day, and play around all day. When she got to the second pig's house, she was building her house too. She didn't like to work any more than the first pig, so she decided to build a quick and easy house out of twigs. Soon, she too was finished. It wasn't a very strong house, but at least it worked. And when she was done, she got to fiddle and dance, which is what she liked to do. So while the first little pig tooted on her flute, the second little pig sawed on her fiddle and danced and played. While she danced, she sang, I built my house of sticks, I built my house of twigs. Hey diddle diddle, I play on my fiddle, and I dance at all kinds of jigs. Then off they danced, the 2 little pigs, to go and see their sister. She too was building her house, but she was a very serious pig. She was building her house out of bricks. Slap, slash, slap went the mortar on the bricks as she put them down on her house. Very, very serious she was. So slap, slash, slash. Away she worked, laying those bricks, smoothing them out. Ha, 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 ho, 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 said the two little pigs. Come down and play with us. But the busy little pig, slap, slash, slap, went the bricks again. As she called down to him, I build my house of stone. I build my house of bricks. I have no chance to sing and dance, for work and play don't mix. Ha, 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 ho, 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 laughed the two lazy pigs. And they danced to the tune and played the fiddle and the flute. You can laugh and sing and dance, said their busy little sister, but I will be safe and you will be sorry when the big bad wolf comes to the door. Ha ha ha, ho ho ho, laughed the two little pigs, and they disappeared into the woods, singing a merry little tune. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Tra la 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 la. Just as the first pig reached her door, out of the woods popped the big bad wolf. She squealed and ran into her house and slammed the door in fright. The little pig, opened the door. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, roared the wolf. And he did. He blew the house of straw all to pieces. Away raced the little pig to her sister's house of sticks. No sooner had she gotten in the door when knock, knock, knock. There was the big bad wolf. But of course, the little pigs wouldn't let him in. I'm gonna fool those little pigs, chuckled the big bad wolf to himself. And he said out loud, those little pigs are too smart for me. I'm gonna go home. He started off toward the deep woods, but he didn't go far. He hid behind a tree. Soon the door opened and the two little pigs peeked out. There was no wolf in sight. Ha ha ha, ho ho ho, laughed the little pigs. We fooled him. They again danced and sang around the room, singing, who's afraid of the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf, the big bad wolf? Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Tra la 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 la. Soon there came another knock on the door. It was the big bad wolf again, but he had covered himself in sheepskin, and he was curled up in a big basket, looking like a little lamb. Who is there? Called the little pig. I'm a poor little sheep with no place to sleep. Could you please let me in? Said the big bad wolf in a sweet little voice. The little pig peeked out through the crack of the door, and she could see the wolf's big black paws and long fangs. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. You can't fool us in that sheepskin, said the little pigs. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in, cried the angry wolf. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and he blew the house to pieces. Away raced the two little pigs straight to the third little pig's house, the one made of bricks. Don't worry, said the little pig to her two frightened little sisters. You are safe here. So they all sang and played gaily. But this made the big bad wolf furious. Now by the hair of my chinny chin chin, he roared, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. So the big bad wolf puffed and he huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he did it some more, but he couldn't blow the house of bricks down. How can I get in? He thought. Oh, the chimney, yes. So he climbed quietly up onto the roof. Then with a snarl, he jumped down right into a kettle of boiling water. With a yelp, he jumped and he sprang straight up the chimney again and raced away from that little house as fast as he could go. The three little pigs spent their time in the strong brick house, singing and dancing merrily. And the big bad wolf never came back again. As the wind huffed and puffed outside my childhood window, my dad would ask, "Which one are you?" I would respond, "I'm the last little pig in the brick house, and the big bad wolf can't get me by the hair of my chinny chin chin." Well, there you have it then. Now go to sleep knowing that you are safe in your brick house and you and your sisters can sing and dance tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that was wonderful. Everyone, you can take a moment and send your thoughts to Andrea as to something that you liked and or something you thought she could do to make this presentation even better. I don't know how you would do
that verbally?
No, through the chat.
Okay.
Next on our agenda is our second prepared speaker. Our speaker will be Kelly McCormick, one of our newest members. She'll be doing her icebreaker from the Pathways Level 1 Mastering Fundamentals. And I don't have an introduction, but I know that Kelly is the author of 3 books, and she will be teaching us a little bit about how to create a leader. Whenever you're ready, Kelly.
Thank you. And you can hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, great, because I've got a little bit of a production. The focus I have today is on how to be online, but also share with others in a way that it's not you or the presentation. So the content is important because, hi, I'm new, and this is my icebreaker with you. But I think it's even more important for me at this point in my career to learn how to integrate. So please be looking for that if you don't mind. So hi, I'm Kelly, and I am an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer and a coach. But those are not very exciting because those are just media to get words across so that people kind of understand who you are and where you're coming from in terms of your expertise. My expertise is in the area of flow, so the state of flow. Meaning, if you want to be your most productive self, you want to create things that you want to create in the world, but you want to do it with ease and increased productivity. That's the state that I have created an expertise area in. And so I do speak and I do write and I do other things in order to allow that to get out. My company is called Creating a Leader. Boom. And this is my office. And oddly enough, I'm sitting, I don't want to mess with you, but I'm sitting over there right now. I'm actually standing over there right now. So you're looking at a picture and then somewhere over there, I'm kind of pointing the opposite direction. So if that doesn't mess with your mind. These are the 3 books that I wrote. They are part of a series called Creating a Leader, as you can see at the top. And the series is intended to be so simple. I am the artiste, and I've put about 170 different illustrations throughout the 3 books because I do actually go after a lot of topics that may not be as easy to talk about, but I do it in such a way that there's simplicity, and I make sure that people walk away having more power and ability to create what they want, what's meaningful to them in the world. Another one of my illustrations, and this is my counterpart. This is me in stick figure form. Can you see? One of the models that I use is something called the leadership score. What I decided was we all have our best and worst levels. And on the low end, we might be in survival mode. Raise your hand, or in your mind, raise your hand if you've ever seen survival mode. Yeah, pretty much everybody's been there, but it's not necessarily our best. So what I wanted to do was figure out, how do we plot when we're in survival mode? How do we figure out how to go above survival mode, and what in the brain makes it so that we can do that? Because I want to teach us how to use our human. I mean, I didn't have an owner's manual. Raise your hand if you did. No owner's manuals. Got it. So the Creating a Leader was written as such. And by doing that, people can move up. And most people can't move up unless they truly understand how the nervous system works. And especially if it's done simply. You don't have to become a neuroscientist. This is part of what I work with. The comfort zone is such a simple aspect that is like a metaphor for how we are wired, if you will. But there's a misnomer that there's a comfort zone and a not your comfort zone. And what I do with my work is I dispel the notion that we have a comfort zone and then we can go out of it and suddenly, all of a sudden, become like this incredibly well created person. Like all of a sudden, all our dreams come true because we start jogging outside of our comfort zone. We all know that's not true. So what I did was I had to figure out, how do you get more nuance to that? And I developed some models that allow you to see when you have a vision or if you have a goal, how do you expand that in such a way that you do better in the world? I also tried to pick up, what are the actions of a leader? I mean, we use this word all the time, but if we are leaders, then there must be things that we do. Well, first, we have a vision, because if you don't know where you're going, there's nothing to do other than just like walk around and say you're a leader. But then you execute, hopefully in flow, you empower others, and then if you're fortunate, you start increasing your capacity to create by developing yourself. And I have another tool called the flow model that allows people to right-size their goal and right-size the obstacles that they can overcome in such a way that they turn flow on. And finally, I have some other models that show how flow works and how it increases the comfort zone and your capacity. I'm going to kind of shoot through some of these. So every time you overcome your obstacle, and if you understand what tools I have here, then you live a life that feels sort of like the confidence of a mic drop. And that's what I'm looking for. People feel like they've got a mic drop type of life. And I feel like I should just show you. This is animated Kelly. I don't have time to show you more of that, but I like her. She's kind of my bud. These are my 3 programs, and I only show you those quickly to let you know that there is going to come a time when I'd like to invite each of you to come to the Power of a Leader. It's an hour and a half. It's what I'm training for right here, right now, to become solid with the technology so that I can share the tools. Again, this is my company. This is me, and I'm really, really happy and proud to be a part of our club. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I'm so excited to learn more about, become even a better leader, be able to stay in the flow and be creative and expand my comfort zone. Next on our agenda is one of my favorite things is our table topics, and our wonderful Tammy Long will be hosting that for us. Please help me welcome Tammy.
Thank you. I have some questions here, and I think I will start with, perhaps, let's start with Dawn. Dawn, what life lesson did you learn the hard way? What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
Well, thank you very much for the question. And I am going to respond by saying, what life lesson did I not learn the hard way? I'm one of those people that just cannot be told what to do. So I have to experience the knocks and the knees being scraped and all the bumps and bruises on my own. So I guess every single lesson that I have learned, I've learned the hard way. But to give you maybe just one of them, I think relationships is probably the biggest lesson that I've learned, is how to be in relationship with other people. At one point, being a very young person, thinking that relationship is all about other people thinking that I'm smart, right? And other people doing things my way. I learned the hard way that doesn't work, because found myself being like always the lone wolf, always on the edge, always trying to, not trying to, but like just always doing things on my own. And finding myself at some point in time, very young, really needing friends, really wanting to have deep conversations, and really wanting to have communication with other people. So I learned the hard way that I needed to do things differently if I wanted to, have a community, have friends, have a family. And now my life is much more balanced, meaning I give and I receive. And I'm very happy to be surrounded by people that I love, and happy to be surrounded by other Maverick leaders. So with that, back to you, Tammy.
Thank you. Great answer. Next, I will ask Erin a question. Erin, what do you wish you spent more time doing 5 years ago? What do you wish you spent more time doing 5 years ago?
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, how I wish you don't ask me that question. The most important reason is because most of my life, I've been spending my time, if not for Toastmasters, is to persuade the superior female. And usually that situation is always the worst thing, because I'm left alone. 5 years ago, I made a decision to really go for a girl that I truly love, never did in my life. I mean, I have dated quite a lot of girls before, but the thing is that this is one girl that I would buy an air ticket, flew over, study a course with her, teach her how to pass a master's degree, and even work with her. If there's a girl that worth your time to do something like that, it's the most happiest and simplest blessings of life. But then it failed at the end because the parents rejected me for being a lawyer. And you think that being a lawyer is always a good thing, but it's not. Technically not, because in that city, working as a lawyer doesn't earn much money that pleases her family. So if I have a choice 5 years ago, what would I do? First of all, I will still fly over. Secondly, I will bring her back to my own city. Thirdly, I will sponsor her studies. And finally, at least I'm not going to bring her to her parents. At least that will make me feel better in some way, that even if she ditched me, I deserve it most. And because of that 5 years, I wasted my time devoting myself in Toastmasters to distract my thoughts not to think about her. Sounds pathetic. And that's why I'm chasing for DTMs. Because if it's DTMs, they never touch me again. Don't touch me. Ever. So ladies and gentlemen, always 5 years is what you regret. But at least you 5 years spend on something that you're worth to reflect on your life. So if you're being a maverick leader or someone that's cherishing your life, please do not chase the superior other part. Waste of time. Let them approach you instead. Back to you.
Thank you. What a great answer. Fun. Doug, do you believe you can time and answer a question at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay. What do you love and what are you doing about it? What do you love and what are you doing about it?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. What do I love and what am I doing about it? I think one of the things that I love to do is to help people and to teach. And Toastmasters has certainly been a very big part of that love. Because through Toastmasters, I mean, yes, I've had amazing personal growth. But through the clubs and through what we all do, I can give feedback, I can mentor, I can help people, and I can watch the growth. We've all seen that kind of growth, I'm sure, of some new member who is so timid to start with. And then in a matter of weeks and months, they just grow, and you can just watch their confidence escalate to a point where it's just a wonder and a joy to behold. And at the same time, what I'm able to do now professionally, Toastmasters has led to that, because I can help and I can teach people financial literacy. I can show them ways that they can help themselves get out of debt and even make more money. And the impact that that has on so many people is just amazing. I don't know if there's anything that can be greater. Well, I think there is, but certainly an emotional impact when you can pay off your credit cards, when you can write that last check and say, I am done. I owe nobody nothing. That is an amazing feeling. And if I can help anybody become a part of that, it would be a joy for me to be able to do that. So those are some of the things I love. Back to you.
Thank you. I would love to have you come talk to my personal finance class. That's great information. My next question will be for Tricia. Tricia, what can you do today that you were not capable of doing a year ago? What can you do today that you were not capable of doing a year ago?
Thank you very much. Well, let's see. November of 2017, I was a Toastmaster for all of 5 months at that point. So I can do a lot today that I couldn't do a year ago. I'm an area director. I'm planning a dual area contest, area 11 and 12 dual area contests. I am almost finished with my advanced communicator gold. I never thought I would be here a year ago from today. I knew I wanted to be a DTM. I knew that was a goal. I never imagined within 2 years that I'd be so close. And it's all thanks to every single Toastmaster I've met in person, online, and I've seen their growth as well. And it's been a wonderful journey. So just some of the things that I can do today that I was not able to do a year ago today. Back to you.
What a great, inspiring answer and perfect for this meeting. My next question will be for Andrea. Andrea, do you think crying is a sign of a weakness or strength? Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength?
Thank you, Tammy. I would say both. It depends on the situation. My sister was a crier so that she could get whatever she wanted, and she would turn on the crocodile tears in an instant. So actually that was a very powerful position for her to be in. to be able to do that. So tears can be very powerful at times. That is the negative side of that. However, I also think my husband made a pact with himself that he would never cry again when he was young. And it has been a struggle for years to actually empower him to cry when something emotional is going on. So when he cries, it's powerful in a whole different way. It's powerful because it's not something that he would normally do. And it really releases all the emotion on the inside that he's bottled up. So I think that that's also powerful. But there are times when crying, when you're just being pitiful for the sake of being pitiful, is very not powerful, extremely not powerful, and it doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. And at that point, you should just laugh at yourself. So back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Great answer. All right, obviously my last question will be for Kelly. Kelly, when was the last time you tried something new? When was the last time you tried something new?
Let's see. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. I think that was about 14 minutes ago when I got in front of all of you and I used this new technology called Personify. The tool is called Presenter within that company. I've been doing this by myself over the last week or so, trying to figure out the technology, but having friendly faces in front of me, and you have no idea how much is going on, but there's a projection system so that I could see you guys back here on my projection screen while I'm watching you here, while I have a separate camera. All of this is a lot of technology, and I would love to go to the highest level of my vision of this, but I wanted to give myself a little bit of a break. Now, based on everything I've learned in the last 5 years, intensive study, I know that I have to keep the bar low enough not to be overwhelmed. And today was more about saying hi, but not doing it perfectly, and doing it in such a way that hopefully you get to know me. Hopefully you get as wowed as I got a little bit wowed of the technology that's available for us to really, truly connect while we're on here. But also just go to different levels and really start taking on what I can without letting it do damage or without just kind of hanging out in my comfort zone. It was new. It was good. I'm glad I did it. Back to you.
Very good. I hope that you did find this experience to practice this in this manner very gratifying for you in your growth. With that, I will turn it back to our Toastmaster, Tricia.
Thank you so much, Tammy, for those thought-provoking questions. And before I turn the meeting over to our next section, which is our evaluation section, I would be gratified if you would all leave Kelly a note about the second speech that she provided, if something you thought you really enjoyed and something that you thought she could use to make it better, even better the next time. While you're doing that, I will turn the meeting over to our general evaluator, Dawn.
Thank you very much, Tricia. Thank you for doing such a great job so far on being our Toastmaster for the day. And at this portion of our meeting is the evaluation portion of our meeting. And our first evaluator today, my mind just went blank.
It's me again.
Oh, is you, Tricia. So if you could lead us in that first evaluation of Andrea's, be wonderful. So please welcome Tricia.
Thank you so much, Todd. So we're in this advanced club, we're practicing speaking in the third person, and I will attempt to do this. So today, Andrea told us a story from the advanced manual, and I felt that she did an excellent job. I was rocking to her little song that the pigs sang, "We're Not Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf," brought me back some memories from my father reading me this very same story. I thought Andrea's had a very clear voice and very well paced out. was able to understand the story and see the progression very easily. Andrea had wonderful voice variation. I even saw in the chat several people mentioned what a great control of vocal variety you had throughout the speech. And also thought Andrea was very well centered in her frame while she was telling us this story. So we're able to see her clearly. She had wonderful uses of her hand movements, specific points in her story to emphasize those points, as well as facial expressions. Just really helped us get into the story about the three little pigs and the big bad wolf. Two things that I believe that Andrea could do to make this presentation even better the next time is that the eye contact could possibly be improved by not looking off of the side of the screen at your notes, or if you're reading the story from a book, is to try maybe bring it equal to your camera so that when you're reading it, we are not able to tell. So that that was my suggestion, is that you move your notes to a little closer to your camera so that you're not looking off to the side. It wasn't very distracting. I just noticed it a few times, and I thought that if Andrea was able to do that, it would be completely seamless and even better the next time. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Tricia. Would you like to lead the round robin portion?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
I will open the floor for anyone that would like to make additional comments. Just raise your hands and I will call on you. Yes, Tammy.
I really enjoyed the speech, and I love that story too. And as Tricia was evaluating, a couple of things came to mind. The body language is hard to do, but you kind of were doing huffing and puffing. Maybe if you can add some more, it's hard when you're on a camera to show that body language, but it's a story that maybe could have some body language to it. But I really enjoyed your story.
Thank you, Tammy. Anyone else? Yes, Don.
I agree. I think Andrea's facial expressions are priceless. I enjoy them thoroughly. And I was curious. I almost want to know, why did you choose to read this when you know the story so well? And I know you know the story, you know, so that was in my mind, and it almost created a little tiny bit of a distraction, because I was buying into the fact that this was the story that helped you through, and yet you were reading. So I was like wondering, wonder what's going on there. So other than that, I thought it was a great story, and I love how you bring every story that you share to life. So thank you. Back to you, Tricia.
Thank you, Don. Anyone else have any other comments that they would like to add? Yes, Kelly.
Thank you, Tricia. Just to piggyback on what has been said by both Dawn and by you, Tricia, Andrea, one possibility, if you do have something you need to read, is they have free teleprompter apps where you could actually have that like right at the top of your screen, right below your camera, let's say, and then you could be reading it, but you're still looking, and it actually moves. So if you say, like 7 minutes, or do it at like such and such a pace a minute, and you'll know exactly how long it's going to be, and the words will show up in front of your eyes at the minute that you want it to. At that point, anything that you need to read, you actually have no loss. And even if I shouldn't say this, I'm a DTM, but even if you just wanted it to back you up and you never looked at it, it could be right there and it would go at the pace that you'd like it to go at. So that's just one thought, and I thought fantastic this week and last week. Great use of vocal variety. Wonderful job.
Thank you, Kelly. Aaron, did you have a comment? I thought I saw you raise your hand earlier.
Yeah. First of all, I don't think Andrea did a great job. I think she did an excellent job. So first of all, it's always about the twist. So when we actually see Andrea actually giving the speech itself, she's really animated. It's just like I'm visualizing those pigs. And one thing to strengthen her up in terms of giving stories like this is to dress up. Really, give some don't cough. I mean, like something that you can make us feel that we can easily visualize it. So like pig nose or stuff like that. I know it's weird online, but you can make us even feel that we are part of that story, and then we all get into the cosplay mode. So it's the fun interactive moments whereby a story comes to life. The best bit of it is to make us feel very real in front of us, and we can actually feel it or touch it, even though we are very far away. So that is my comment and suggestion for Andrew.
Thank you. I see the round robin time is up, so I will hand the back over to our general evaluator.
Thank you. And I'm going to go straight into the evaluation of Kelly's speech, which was the icebreaker. And I am thrilled to get to know Kelly through her icebreaker today, and not just to get to know her personally, but to get to know her work and to get to see the introduction to not, like I said, not just her, but her work also. As a Maverick leader, that excites me. This technology blows my mind. So I understand that there are a lot of pieces going on in the background to make this happen, and I appreciate it. I'm speechless, right? And to think that you actually have someplace else to go with this, I just am again speechless. I look forward to seeing what else is there to this, because it sounds like you have some kind of a 3D thing going on, and that will be exciting. As far as any words of advice or anything within this, it was really hard to find something to offer as suggestions, because I felt that you really did a lot of preparation, that you actually knew where to point. The only part that I was kind of confused about was where you were actually sitting in the room. Like, that was a little confusing because from my point of view, when you were pointing, it looked like you were pointing right at your presentation board, your screen. So I was a little bit confused with that. Other than that, I loved to be able to see your space in your office. I think it's a beautiful office. Very happy that I got to see that. Your comfort level, of course. You are a leader, and this is what you do. You said 7 days a week. Easy. Your awareness of the audience, everything, your eye contact, vocal variety, clarity, and sharing. I think it's really important because I use drawings as well. So I was happy to hear how you manage that. You're drawing stick figures and telling people why you chose to do that to help them connect really was powerful for me. It allows me to see, oh my gosh, it's not just a stick figure. This is a high level communication, right? So I appreciated that was brought out in your presentation. And at this time, I'm going to just ask for other people's feedback, because I think it is time. If you have any other things that you would like to share with Andrea, go ahead and unmute yourself.
It was a great speech. I loved it. I loved the technology. It was so exciting. And as advanced Toastmasters, I'm just going to throw out some things that I noticed, because I think that I want to help you. And one of them is, I'm not sure the black dress on the black background worked as well as I wanted it to, because you saw the white lines around the outside of you, and it made your hands look a little more weird and some other things. And I'm not sure that that's what you want to have happen. So I'd like to see wear a different color just to try it out. The other thing is that on our screens, on my screen, when someone is talking, everything moves to the side. All the all the panels moved to the side, and I missed a whole bunch of what you were doing over there because you were standing in the only place on the frame where I could have seen your visual aids behind you. If you'd have been on the other side of that screen, I would have been able to see more of it. So those are just two things that you might want to be aware of. Not everybody is working with a large screen where they get to see everything. I happen to be one of those. So great speech, though. Loved it.
Thank you, Andrea. Anyone else? I see some hands up here for feedback. Oh, Aaron, go ahead.
I'm not gonna do the twist. Just kidding. I love the part whereby Kelly actually did an awesome job in terms of making us feel that it's becoming really 3D. The best experience in any presentation online is whereby you are doing effects that no one can do, and also showing us or highlighting points which best represent your style. I can see your own personal style in there. It's very reflective. You show us and demonstrated excellent control on presentation. So being an online critic, I'll be slightly critical. So when I actually look at the part whereby you are standing in the wrong position, I noticed that there are two things. First of all, if you re-look back the video of this recording, you will see that Kelly is using two screens. One screen is actually mainly about the gallery view, whereby there's nothing at the background. The second view should be on the computer. I think it's a software that actually gives this animation. Am I correct? I hope I'm correct though. But if I'm correct in assuming that, then the next thing that I would challenge Kelly would be to rehearse it a bit more. When I say rehearse it a bit more, there's some positioning, some graph that is actually blocked by you yourself. So if you know the positioning of the graph that is showing up next, then you actually will take note, oh, okay, next time I'm going to stand on the left side more. I'm going to stand on the center side so you can see all the presentation parts. That way can exhibit your fullest potential of this sort of presentation. I took 3 months just to rehearse for one presentation on this type. So it will take quite a few more tries for that. Back to you.
Thank you, Aaron. And at this time, I'm going to go straight into a quick and easy general evaluation of our meeting and ask for our timers report from Doug. Could you give us some timers report, please?
Sure. Our first speaker, Andrea, spoke for 7 minutes and 43 seconds. She had 7 to 9 minutes, so well done. Our second speaker, Kelly, had 4 to 6 minutes. She spoke for 6:15, so that's all right. Our table topics, Dawn spoke for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Aaron, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Myself, 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Trisha, 1 minute 18. Andrea, 1:21. And Kelly, 1 minute and 30 seconds. For our evaluations, Trisha spoke for 2 minutes 29, and we had 3 minutes and 57 for round robin out of 3 minutes, so we got to watch out for that. And Dawn, as an evaluator, spoke for 2 minutes and 43 seconds, and our round robin was 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, and thank you for keeping us on track with that evaluation and your wonderful lights as well. And I will ask Aaron for an the Grammarian General Counter report. If you could do that, unmute yourself, Aaron.
Okay, thank you, General Evaluator. As an counter, I noticed that most of us are very, 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 very maverick leaders. At least you know how to control your arms and ears. I noticed there's only 2 persons who make repeated unnecessary connective. First of all is Trisha. Subconsciously, whenever you try to add a filler sentence, you subconsciously add a after the end. So that will be something for you to note. Other than that, you have actually committed around like 14 times to same type of repeated unnecessary connective. But other than that, you have no other mistakes with that. And for dog, maybe it's my hearing problem. Every time I hear you mentioning hour, I always hear the word So that way, I think my ears are having problem these days. Like the sounds are coming to me. Other than that, everyone is doing a good job for our counter. As for the word of the day, gratify. Uh, Thanks to kind reminders for Trisha. Tammy and Trisha use the word of the day, and also myself. So we try to use the word of the day more to exemplify the vocabularies of this wonderful world of languages that will make everyone feel comfy. And if there is any good phrases, I think the only thing that is in my mind that I still staying till this very moment is Andrew speaking. I hoof and poof that pig story, that repeated sound. That is a wonderful brainwashing phrase. When I say good, it doesn't mean that it has to be really good. It has to stay in that mind for a time being until I dream and sleep, think about the pigs and the wolf. So that way is a good phrase itself. So other than that, there are many good phrases, but that leaves the biggest impression. Back to you.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. And I wanted to say a special thanks today to Tammy for her really thoughtful table topics. They're extremely appropriate for our club. They brought us a lot of awareness about each other, and that's the kind of table topics that I believe that are the most valuable for us to answer and to get to know each other. So I just say kudos to Tammy for her table topics. And I know many of us go out of our way to do really good table topics, so I appreciate them. I was thinking we could actually create Maverick table topics for leadership, and this would be like, we could totally monetize this because that's where my mind goes. All right, so great meeting. The evaluations were really good and spot on. I felt mine was really good. Trisha, your evaluation of Andrea was really good, and I think I might have made one note. That you did a good job of speaking in the third person, and that's my hardest thing to do. So I was watching, and I really appreciated the fact that you were doing that. And with that, I think I'm going to turn it back over to Trisha, and I'm just going to ask for, was there anything I missed evaluating? I think we had a great meeting today, good topic. And like I said, back to you, Trisha.
Thank you. I felt that this meeting was very gratifying, and I'm thankful that you all showed up and participated. Did anyone else have any comments that they felt that they would like to share about today's meeting?
I actually have one. Can I invite Kelly to our club? No, definitely. And also, I definitely feel the vibe in this club that is exemplifying and gratifying most of the wonderful leaderships, speaking styles, evaluation styles that most online clubs are not focusing too well on that. And you guys did a really good job, and that's why you guys, in terms of quality, is one of the highest compliment that I can give that represents the online community. The only proposal that I'm going to give is there a possibility of a joint meeting? So yeah, if there's a possibility of joint meetings, I think that we are going to reach around like 50 members in one meeting. See how it goes.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. And we can talk about that. We just have to figure out a timing for when that would work. And we can invite both of our clubs together for a joint meeting. But thank you. And Trisha, I guess I'll throw it back to you.
Well, I don't see that there. I think that will end our meeting for today. I'll turn it back over to our president, Dawn Sarah, and she will look at next week's agenda and see where you can fill in.
Thank you, Trisha. I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you.